Hello and welcome to eNews at 7. I'm Shahan Ramkisoon. It's great to have you with us. Our top stories tonight. The Health Minister admits all neonatal wards in Gauteng are overcrowded as he deals with the Klebsiella outbreak that's left 6 babies dead. The ANC Youth League celebrates 74 years of existence, but its president and keynote speaker failed to show up. Our top story, the neonatal and maternity wards of the Thelle Mogoerane Hospital in Vosloorus remain closed. That's after 6 babies died of Klebsiella pneumonia. Health Minister Ramokgopa says overcrowding is one of the reasons behind the outbreak. Babies and pregnant women will now be moved to 2 other Johannesburg hospitals. Ramokgopa says babies and people with weak immune systems are prone to be Klebsiella infections in hospitals.
Due to the findings of the NICD, which I said we received yesterday, we thought we needed to act with urgency. Number one, the only way to relieve overcrowding is to use other available facilities, especially the low-risk ones. And I've already told you that other health facilities in Gauteng are also 132% full. So we have this morning spent a lot of time at Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital because, as we know, the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital has recently opened and are progressively admitting new patients. They did not follow a big bang approach, which would have been undesirable. So they still have a lot of unused space. And we are going to make use of that space to try Thelle Mogoerane. We are also going to make use of Charlotte Maxeke Academic Hospital. You know, it's a very busy hospital, but compared to the risk factors here, it is much better. So we are going to use the unused space in Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital to decant babies from here and to divert those who are going to be newly admitted, because we can no longer continue admitting babies here, even under those conditions.
The ANC Youth League held its 74th anniversary rally in Mpumalanga today, but it wasn't without controversy. Keynote speaker, Deputy President David Mabuza and Youth League leader Colin Maine pulled out at the last minute. But celebrations continued, with the League's Deputy President insisting all is well.
That we got from his office is that he has got other engagement. So that is why the Deputy President won't be able to come and address this event. This is the anniversary of the ANC Youth League. I am here, I'm the Deputy President. In the absence of the President, I take over. That's per the Constitution. So there is no ambiguity, there is no crisis, the organization will proceed.
Well, our reporter Samkela Maseko then headed to Maine's house in Pretoria. He asked the Youth League leader why he didn't attend the celebrations and didn't miss out on the chance to quiz him about whether he'll testify at the state capture inquiry if he's asked to do so.
ANC Youth League President Colin Maine says there is no substance to the Sunday Times article saying that he was imposed and installed as the ANC Youth League President by the then ANC's notorious Premiers League.
What I said is that there was a belief then that there was a hand of the so-called Premier League in the election of the NSC that I'm leading, and which we're still refuting until today, that there's an existence of such a league.
The under-fire ANC Youth League President failed to pitch today at the 74th anniversary of the ANC Youth League in Mpumalanga, saying that he had prior engagements at his home.
The reality of the situation is that I was not feeling well. I then requested the Deputy President, as stipulated in our Constitution, that in the absence of the President, the Deputy President will then assume the responsibility of the President, and that's what Comrade Desmond Mwela did very well.
Colin Maine also says should he be called to testify in the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into State Capture, he will do so as a law-abiding citizen.
Should I be required, like a law-abiding citizen of this country, to go and say, if at the Commission, as chaired by the Deputy Chief Justice, want to ask me any question, I would go to the Commission if required to go there.
Samkele Maseko, Pretoria.
KwaZulu-Natal police are searching for a 4-year-old girl after her parents' car was hijacked. They're looking for 4 men who drove off with her in the car. The men pounced on the 45-year-old driver and took the VW Golf at a traffic light in New Germany. Police say the hijackers forced the man out of his vehicle and sped off with his daughter still inside. Well, here's a cute little story. Gauteng's third set of quintuplets born in Vosloorus are thriving. The Buthelezi 5 were delivered through C-section to 32-year-old mother Prudence. Thelle Mogoerane reports.
It's hard enough to prepare for the birth of a child, and certainly nothing can ever prepare anybody for 5 newborns. While it's 5 times the amount of joy, it's also 5 times the lack of sleep and the worry about school and a number of other issues that parents must all go through. The Buthelezi's 4 girls and a boy are the third set of quintuplets born in the country since 1994. And the Social Development Department is offering its support.
Without promising to solve all their problems, Gauteng province joins the growing list of well-wishers who commit to stand by the family. We have already assigned our social workers who will work with the family to assess their psychosocial needs and will work with them to assist in every way possible.
The doctor who delivered the babies says Siyanda, Sibahle, Simesihle, Slindile and Sindisiwe will remain in the neonatal ICU until they reach a healthy weight.
So we started speaking about these babies way before they were born, which is another important aspect of no surprises. So I think the health status of these kids is as well as it can be for 1.4, 1.2. They are definitely going to gain weight. They are eating on their own, they are breathing on their own, they are playing on their own. And I expect these babies to be home by the end of October. So we keep them until they are 2 kilograms. As soon as they get to 2 kilograms, they get to go home. So I'm very confident that these babies will be home, and in a month we'll be celebrating their 1 month, and then in a year, 1 year, and so on and so on. We're really very confident of that.
The proud parents who are a bit camera shy say they can't wait to take their bundles of joy home. Thelle Mogoerane, Vosloorus in Ekurhuleni.
While September the 15th marked World Cleanup Day, the program is aimed at combating the global problem of solid and plastic waste in our oceans. Joburg City officials are doing their part. Selepe has more.
Global citizens stepping up for a cleaner environment. September 15 is officially the biggest single day of volunteer-based waste collection efforts. An estimated 5 million volunteers in 10 countries take part in the cleanup events in their respective countries. One of South Africa's spots was the Yexke River, with volunteers of all ages participating in the event. City of Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba was among the volunteers.
To see the youth being involved, being the majority of the people getting involved, because at the end of the day, it's about their future. Because if we're going to be destroying this environment today, they are the ones who are going to pay the price.
Everybody was involved.
I came here to clean up litter. We're here for the World Cleanup Day to pick up litter, and I just wanted to say I'm a global citizen. We clean environments and take care of animals and people.
Organizers from all over the world will gather information from different countries in order to measure the number of volunteers and amounts of rubbish picked up. Thelle, Johannesburg.
Coming up after the break, all your international news, and we'll take a close look at unsafe government buildings in Johannesburg. Stay with us. Welcome back. Employees who work in government buildings in Gauteng are panicking. They're blaming the recent fire at a Johannesburg government office for their anxiety. But could the tragedy have been avoided? And what is the condition of buildings that houses South Africa's rich heritage? Masego Ratlaga finds out.
Behind Johannesburg's skyline, backlit by a gleaming Highveld sunset, lies a story of neglect and emptiness. Dreadful, awful, and dire are just some of the words you could use to describe some of the city's most iconic buildings. The inner city decay is putting at risk people's lives and the preservation of some of our country's history.
First, we visited the Johannesburg Arts Gallery in Joubert Park. It's the largest gallery on the subcontinent. The building is over 100 years old and consists of 15 exhibition halls and sculpture gardens. The city of Johannesburg admits it's the result of years of neglect and is hoping to fix the problem soon. But according to Community Development MMC Nonhlanhla Sifumba, the work will be carried out in phases. The gallery isn't the only Joburg building that needs attention. This is the drill hall. The building, which is opposite the Noord taxi rank, is perhaps better known for its association with the treason trial, in which 156 anti-apartheid stalwarts were charged with high treason. By the late 1990s, it was home to hundreds of squatters. Following a fire in 2001 and another the following year, the building underwent a 10 million rand refurbishment funded by the city. But it's since been abandoned and the building is back in the hands of squatters. Then there's this building. Situated near the Constitutional Court in Braamfontein, the Children's Memorial Institute, previously known as the Transvaal Memorial Hospital for Children, was the first institution in Johannesburg dedicated to treating children. Since this month's fire in the Johannesburg CBD, all spheres of government seem to have the same goal, and that's to find out just how badly damaged their buildings are, whether they comply with health and safety regulations, and to try and fix the problems. Hopefully, this means that all government buildings will soon comply with the law and that abandoned ones will be refurbished and put to good use. Masego Ratlaga, Johannesburg.
Some international news now. The death toll has risen to 13 as Tropical Storm Florence continues battering the U.S. East Coast with howling winds and blinding rains. The storm caused massive damage across North and South Carolina. It damaged buildings, trapping hundreds of people and knocked out power supply. Many houses along the highway have been submerged in water. And heavy downpours and flooding hit Hong Kong as a super typhoon passed through the city. High waves crashed onto a walking promenade and flooded streets. Tropical cyclone Mangkhut moved towards the Chinese coast, gaining in strength over the South China Sea after raging through the Philippines, where at least 25 people died. To the break, your weather details, and then the streets of Sandton were turned into a boxcar racetrack. We'll tell you why after this.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Weather Centre. A weak cold front will pass over the southwestern corner of the country overnight with some light rain in the forecast for that area. There'll be on and off rain over the region during the course of Monday, and while the rest of the country stays dry, it does become windy for much of the interior. Along with that, it is going to be a hot day, and for this reason, there is a high fire danger warning in place for the areas indicated in red where runaway fires could develop. Taking a look at the Northern Cape first, we see it is going to be a cooler day for Springbok, Calvinia and Sutherland, only managing to climb into the mid-teens for the afternoon, but it does stay dry. In the Western Cape, on the other hand, there will be some rain from Vredendal through to the peninsula, perhaps even Hermanus, but the south coast will be partly cloudy and mild, but no rain in the forecast. Warming up in the Eastern Cape, where it will be sunny and dry, temperatures climbing into the upper 20s for some parts of the province. In KwaZulu-Natal, on the other hand, it's going to be a much hotter day. Mid-30s expected all across the northern parts, Ulundi potentially reaching a high of 38 degrees. In Mpumalanga, it's going to be a hot day as well, in particular for the Lowveld, where Skukuza gets to 39, and that all-important 40-degree mark will be reached by Musina in the afternoon hours, and it's going to be a sunny and hot day for all of Limpopo. Temperatures rise quickly after sunrise in the northwest province, reaching the mid-30s in the afternoon. Mahikeng, Zeerust and Rustenburg, 36 degrees, your expected maximum. And it is going to be windy across the central parts, including the Free State, where Bloemfontein gets to 30 degrees, but once again chilly in the morning for this province. And finally, for Gauteng, if you're enjoying the hot weather, it's here to stay, at least for the meantime. 33 in Johannesburg, while Pretoria gets to 35 degrees. Let's take a look further ahead to Tuesday, and we're going to see those temperatures continuing to rise in the northern parts. 37 for Mahikeng and Pretoria. Bombela gets to 40 degrees, staying cold and wet for parts of the Western Cape, and it's going to be even colder for those parts on Wednesday when temperatures continue to rise in the north. Pretoria 38 and Johannesburg the maximum temperature of 35 degrees. That's all from the Weather Centre. Have a lovely week.
There was lots of action at the 5th Red Bull boxcar race in Sandton. 70 teams participated, and they say it's the most fun they've had in a while.
Thousands have gathered in Sandton for the Red Bull boxcar race. Course head designer and chief judge Janelle de Villiers says this year's course was particularly difficult.
This is the steepest one in history, and also to put some obstacles in it. You know, the guys needed to make parts that will get through everything, have some fun, have some laughs. There's been some crashes, some cars without wheels, not getting to the finish, but as I say, you know, it's all about a fun day.
But in keeping with the fun theme of the event, teams had to do a unique dance before they started. And the sports followed, with participants overcoming a number of obstacles, and at the end of it all, the cart is launched through the air. Participants say it's all about the fun.
Definitely the jumps. The jumps. And the build-up to the whole event. It's ups and downs. Our cart broke 3 days before the race, and we spent like till 10 o'clock at night fixing the thing and just getting it strong for the race. Building a box cart and building friendships.
It's probably the most fun we've ever had. I mean, it just brought us friends together. We just came here to have a good time. We didn't build the best cart out there. It's got no suspension, so we were a little worried about the jumps.
Gerard Pretorius, Sandton.
All right, here's a reminder of our top stories before we go. The health minister admits all neonatal wards in Gauteng are overcrowded as he deals with the Klebsiella outbreak that's left 6 babies dead. The ANC Youth League celebrates 74 years of existence, but its president and keynote speaker failed to show up. From me, Shahan Ramkisoon, and the rest of the team, good night.